Riaan Cruywagen. I think it's very cool. It always looks like really like neat and everything.
I hope he's always on the news. The first time I saw the news, it was Riaan Cruywagen. I mean, I'm 21 now. It's like been there forever.
My name is Riaan Cruywagen. I have been a professional broadcaster, first on radio for 10 years and then for the past 32 years on television in South Africa.
Riaan Cruywagen is very good at reading the news. I'm sure he kept his job that way.
And he's still reading the news. And I watched him. He had a lot of makeup.
Just rub my nose a little bit. Okay. Having gained the nickname the face of news in South Africa is something in which I pride myself, I really do. But also, of course, I hold a world record. I am the longest serving Afrikaans TV news presenter in the world. How's that? See you next time.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay. It was announced that South Africa would get television in 1976. Now, what I vividly remember about those very first broadcasts was that we were so terribly inexperienced. And we would start on a Friday, and we would work right through the weekend, on Saturday and on Sunday, to have the thing in the can a few hours before transmission time on the Sunday evening.
How did you perceive the news during apartheid?
News during apartheid, yes. Just in general, I don't think people believed anything they saw on the TV, man.
Of course we didn't believe it, because we were having to run, they were throwing tear gas and...
It never captured, really, the true reflection of what and why people were revolting at the time.
Die 20ste herdenking van die Republiek is vandag in Durban afgesluit met een van die kleurrykste militêre parades wat nog in die land gehou is.
Especially during apartheid times, there were news broadcasts that were obviously not true.
Tell me about that.
It's actually fairly simple. You must keep in mind I am a professional news reader. I don't write or compile the news. My duty is to present the news that is given to me in the most credible, most professional and most authoritative way possible.
Goeiemôre. Die Nasionale Party het gister se algemene verkiesing met 'n feitelik onveranderde meerderheid kon wen.
I remember during the apartheid elections that we also had to work right through the night, broadcast election results. Although we knew that the elections were completely undemocratic because only a certain section of the population could take part in that. But still, whatever the content of the news is up to them to decide whether it's credible or not, or the truth or not. That's not my job. There is always something in every news bulletin that affects one. Thanks. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't have a heart of stone. I'm a human being.
Ekskuus. Hier is nog 'n ligte bydrae uit die FSA. 'n Reusepara uit Afrika wat na die Amerikaanse televisiepersoonlikheid Johnny Carson vernoem is, het in Kalifornië Amerika met 'n afstand van 3,6 meter gekwalifiseer vir die eindronde van 'n paraspring kompetisie.
While we were making the news on the streets, in the streets, and then watching it at night on SABC News, 2 different worlds, 2 different planets. And Riaan Cruywagen was reading it. Dina, hallo?
In sy verklaring vroeër vandag het die kommissaris van polisie, generaal Henny de Wit, bekendgemaak dat 'n vermeende ANC-terroris aangehou word wat lid was van 'n groep van meer as 20 terroriste wat vanoggend die radarstasie in Wes-Transvaal met mortiere aangeval het.
Content like you said, for example, the state of emergency did have an effect on you, even while you were doing your professional work. What kind of effect?
Well, I can't exactly remember the effect that it had on me, but I do recall that the state of emergency was declared after continued civil unrest and township violence. And apparently the government decided on those measures to give them the power to deal with resistance to apartheid. Well, the effect that it had on me as a person is my own personal matter, but it did not affect me as a professional news presenter. I had to remain cool, calm and collected and present the news as it was given to me to present. I had no option. Nou sê ek gaan nou vir jou stembalans gee. Vanaand, Eskom kry 'n krag.
Why didn't you leave the SABC if you knew that it was the mouthpiece for the apartheid government?
The thing is, what else could I do? I was trained as a broadcaster, and that was the only employer in the broadcasting industry. So even if I wanted to leave the SABC, where would I find employment? I couldn't do anything else but broadcasting.
Goeienaand. 'n Toespraak wat sonder twyfel in die geskiedenis sal staan as 'n waterskeiding in die Suid-Afrikaanse politieke ontwikkelingsproses, is vandag deur die staatspresident, meneer F.W. de Klerk, met die opening van verjaar se parlementsitting gelewer.
In pursuance of my opening address to Parliament, I am now in a position to announce that Mr. Nelson Mandela will be released at the Victor Verster prison on Sunday, the 11th of February, at about 3 p.m.
Is there a difference between reading news under the apartheid government and reading news now? I mean, is it...
None whatsoever. I still have to remain professional, impartial, objective.
What has changed? It's this. Is it that newsreaders are just very impartial and it's just reading whatever story? It's just a job. Put any story you like in front of me, and I'm just the messenger and don't shoot the messenger, or not?
Goeienaand. Miljoene Suid-Afrikaners het vandag na die stembus gestroom om hulle stem in die geskiedkundige verkiesing uit te bring.
But it wasn't all plain sailing.
The Riaan Cruywagen transformation.
Oh yes, of course. Of course I have transformed.
Tell us about the Riaan Cruywagen transformation.
I started to see my fellow South Africans differently. I started to see them as fellow citizens of this country. Disenfranchised at that stage, but I knew that sooner or later things would change. So I'm just the medium. Just the medium, as I said just now.
Welkom by Mission 7 op SABC 2. Die kragvoorsiening is met de waarschuwing krachttekorten voorleggen. Het volgende dag de sleutel is onafgewezen als die enigste doel van brand wanneer de onafhankelijke vervaardigers het kabinet is vandaag op zijn grote vergadering in Kaapstad. Dus de regering gaan die privaatsector aanmoedigen om meer geld aan die elektriciteitsbedrijven te besteden.